Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dive into the sometimes weird and often confusing world of corporate filings. Today we're looking at Pentair, a company that deals with water solutions. It might sound boring, but water is big business, and their recent shareholder meeting had some interesting votes that could ripple through the company. Think of it like a school election, but with way more money at stake. Before we jump in, if you enjoy getting a clear picture of what's really going on in these company reports, hit that subscribe button. Also, join our Discord community. The link is in the description below to chat with other investing enthusiasts. Alright, let's get started. This is a Form 8K, a current report filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. It basically tells investors about major events that a company is legally required to disclose. In this case, it's about Pentair's annual general meeting of shareholders that happened in May of 2025. The main point of this filing is to report the results of the votes on different proposals that were put before the shareholders. Think of it like checking the election results after everyone has voted. These votes decide important things about how the company is run and who runs it. The meeting included votes on everything from electing directors to approving how much the top executives get paid. First up is the re-election of directors. These are the people on the board who guide the company's strategy and make big decisions. Shareholders voted to keep all 10 director nominees in their positions for another year. Looking at the voting numbers, most directors received overwhelming support. However, T. Michael Glenn and David A. Jones saw a significantly higher number of votes against them compared to others. While they were still re-elected, it signals that a sizable portion of shareholders have some concerns about their performance or direction. It's like getting a B on your report card when everyone else got As. Still passing, but something to watch. Next, there was a vote on executive compensation, basically asking shareholders if they agree with how much the top bosses are getting paid. It's a non-binding advisory vote, meaning the company isn't legally required to change anything based on the result, but it's a way for shareholders to voice their opinion. Let's see how it went. The vote on executive pay wasn't exactly a landslide. While it passed, over 21 million votes were cast against the compensation packages. That's a pretty significant number, and it suggests that many shareholders think the executives are being overpaid or that their performance doesn't justify the high salaries. This can put pressure on the company to reconsider how they compensate their top leaders and to better align pay with performance. It's like when your parents tell you to do chores and then you ask for a huge allowance increase. They'll probably say no, right? Then there was a vote to ratify the appointment of Deloitte & Touche as the company's independent auditor. Basically, shareholders got to say whether they approved of the company's choice for the people who check their financial statements. The vote to approve Deloitte & Touche as the company's auditor passed without much drama, but over 16 million votes were cast against it. While it wasn't enough to change anything, this level of dissent may point to shareholders being concerned about potential conflicts of interest or just wanting a change after years with the same auditor. There were also votes related to the company's ability to issue new shares and handle existing shares under Irish law. Since Pentair is incorporated in Ireland, these votes give the board more flexibility in managing the company's capital structure. The shareholder approved the authorization. Shareholders also voted on whether to allow the company to bypass preemption rights. Preemption rights give existing shareholders the first chance to buy any new shares the company issues to maintain their percentage ownership. Allowing the company to opt out of this means they can offer new shares to anyone they want, which can dilute existing shareholders' stake. That vote also passed, so the board now has the authorization to issue shares to whomever they want. Finally, shareholders voted on the price range at which the company can reissue shares it holds as treasury shares. Treasury shares are shares that the company bought back from investors. The vote gives the board flexibility in managing these shares. This passed with very little dissent. Now, let's take a step back and look at what this all means for Pentair. The easy re-election of most board members suggests that shareholders are generally satisfied with the company's leadership and direction. It's like saying, keep doing what you're doing. However, the significant number of votes against executive compensation and some board members indicates that there's a growing unease among shareholders about how the company is being run and how it's rewarding its top executives. It can also show that shareholders want more accountability and a stronger link between pay and performance. The approval of proposals related to share issuance gives Pentair more freedom to raise capital and manage its shares, which can be useful for funding growth or making acquisitions. However, it also opens the door to potential dilution of existing shareholders' ownership. In conclusion, Pentair seems to be in a stable position, but there are some warning signs that the company needs to address. Shareholders are watching closely and they expect the company to be responsible with their money and to reward executives fairly. If Pentair doesn't listen to these concerns, they could face more pushback from shareholders in the future. Alright, that's our breakdown of Pentair's latest shareholder meeting. What's your take on these votes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.